All right, everyone. Today we're going to talk about multiplying polynomials. We're going to take the exponent rules that we learned when we practiced multiplying with exponents, and we're going to apply those with the distributive property that we already know and see what happens. So here is, we have three problems that we're going to work out to start with. My first problem says negative 4x times 3x minus 6. So I'm taking this monomial, negative 4x, and I'm multiplying it by a binomial. Remember, like a bicycle is a bike has two tires, two wheels. So a binomial has two terms. So I'm going to take this monomial and I'm going to distribute it into my binomial. All right? Remember, when a number or a term is on the outside of parentheses, we have to distribute it into the parentheses. So now I'm going to say negative 4x times 3x. What does that equal? Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. X times x, x squared. Then I have to remember to do negative 4x times negative 6. What does that give me? Negative 4 times negative 6 is positive 24, and then I have an x. Then I ask myself, can I combine or simplify that expression? The answer is no. I have a term that has an x squared and a term that has an x. You cannot combine those together because they're not like terms. Let's look at the next example. 4ab times 3a squared minus 6b plus a. What am I going to distribute here? I'm going to distribute this whole 4ab. It's going to go to the 3a squared, it's going to go to the negative 6b, and it's got to go to the 8. So now let's write what we get. 4 times 3 gives me 12. I have a times a squared. What does that equal? Okay, those exponent rules did not go away. A times a squared is a cubed. B times, there's no b, so that's just b. Let's look at the next one. 4ab times the negative 6b. So 4 times negative 6 gives me negative 24. The a, there's no a right here, so I just write the a. And then I have b times the b. b times b is b squared. Okay, if I multiply 4ab times 8, 4 times 8 is 32. The 8 has no a's or b's, so I just write these a's and b's right there. Are any of those like terms? No, they're not. So I can't combine them, so we are finished. Let's look at this third problem. Why don't you guys press pause, see if you can distribute in the negative 3 times m to the 5th r to the 6th, and we'll see if we get the same answer. Okay, so this is what I got. I got negative 6 m to the 6th because I had an m to the 5th here and an m, that makes m to the 6th, and then r to the 6th. Then I multiplied negative 3 times negative 5 to give me a positive 15. I combined my m's to get m to the 7th and r to the 9th. Hope you got the same thing. Okay, let's look at the next page. Here the problems look a little different. I have a binomial. Remember what that is? Something with two terms, an x and a 3. Okay, or a negative 3. I have a binomial times a binomial. All right, so let's see how this is going to work. I'm going to use the distributive property 4 times here. I've got to take this x and I have to multiply it times this x, but it also has to be multiplied by the 7. All right, so I get x times x gives me x squared. X times 7 gives me 7x. But we're not finished. We have to distribute this negative 3. It gets distributed to the x, and where else do you think it gets distributed? You got it, to the 7. So let's see what we get from that. Negative 3 times x, negative 3x, negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. Now I look to see, are there any like terms that I can combine? 7x and negative 3x. What do those combine to make? 7 minus 3, 4x. Then there's nothing else that can combine, so this is my answer. Let's look at the next one. I have to distribute the 5x to the 2x. What does the 5x also have to be distributed to? The negative 4. Does it have to be distributed to the 3 right next to it? No, because they're in a binomial. That's a binomial together. It does not get distributed to the 3. So let's multiply that. 5x times 2x. 5 times 2 is 10. X times x is x squared. 5x times negative 4, that's negative 20x. What else do we have to distribute? The 3, where does it go? The 2x and the negative 4. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 4, negative 12. What do we do next? combine like terms. Negative 20x plus 6x is negative 14x. And then I write everything else that didn't get combined with anything. Okay, next example. Press pause and I want you to see if you can get it and then play back. Okay, let's see if this is what you got. I got 6x squared minus 23x plus 15. Remember, in front of this negative x is a negative 1. So you're distributing a negative 1x times negative 6x, which gave me positive 6x squared. Negative 1x times 5 gave me a negative 5x. 3 times negative 6x gave me a negative 18x. And 3 times 5 gave me 15. Then I combined my like terms and simplified. Last example, I have 4x minus 2, and that whole quantity is being squared. What does that mean? Remember, that means 4x minus 2 times. So 4x minus 2 times 4x minus 2. Okay, you should be able to do this. Press pause and work. Okay, so this is what I got. I got my final answer of 16x squared minus 16x plus 4. What about you? Okay, take a look at my work. If you have any questions, we'll address those in class. Bye-bye.